Hello booktube, this is Eric. I am back with a video and I have a huge stack of books. I went to a library book sale that was $3 a box or bag, so I got a bunch of stuff there, and I got some stuff from thrift stores in the last couple of days. I found this in one of the books I picked up. It's from 1983. I wonder if they'd redeem that for me. Probably not. At any rate, so there's men's adventure stuff in here. There's 80s adult westerns. There are paperback thrillers, crime novels, mysteries, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to talk about each one because there's a lot to go through and I want to try and get this done quick. But most of these I do intend to attempt to read. So, starting off, Mac Bolan, #2, The Executioner Death Squad. And the way this is going to work is I'm going to put these on the table right there and I have to look away to make sure I set them down correctly. Mac Bolan, #50. I'm not going to say all the numbers. I'm just going to show them and set them down. I've been following a group on Facebook, the men's pulp adventures of the adventure novels of the 70s and 80s, and this is the kind of stuff that gets talked about on there. Destroyer, Remo Williams, for those of you that know the movie. So, and then there's MIA Hunter. And then I got on here A Modesty Blaze. Okay, moving to the adult westerns. Once again, I know these are cheesy and whatnot, but I have a feeling that some of these are going to become sought after, and a lot of these were written by guys and women who are working writers who this was how they paid their rent or made their mortgage payments and spent time writing their own stuff. So you get classy writers who are slumming it, not necessarily slumming it, making a living as a writer, writing this stuff. And who knows what they slip in there. Long Arm's kind of the standard, and any of the early ones I think are worth checking out. From what I understand, it's been a long time since I've read one of these. A lot of them are more of a mystery set in a Western setting. So some of these books I had thrown in my bag and just kept in the bag as I went to the checkout. And it was, hey, they all fit in the bag, so sure. Okay, that's it for the adult westerns. S.E. Hinton texts. I've been kind of wanting to read some S.E. Hinton lately, so I saw that. One of my friends, a writer, has talked about these Hitchcock short story compilations, and I found this one and I threw it in my bag. It's one of these things they hardcovered for a library, and so hey, why not? You can check it out. All right, some movie tie-ins. Which are another thing that are kind of very ephemeral that I don't know how much value they have necessarily, but they are kind of cool to have and look through and see who wrote them, and oftentimes there are stills from the films in there or whatever. And oftentimes they are based on initial script, versions of the scripts, so that you can see stuff that was intended to be in the movie that didn't make it. Classic mysteries. I've not read Ellery Queen, so I've been picking up some stuff in that series. I'm going to show these real quick. Raymond Chandler copies, nice copies. Movie tie-in one with Robert Mitchum there from the 70s. And you can't go wrong with A Big Sleep. These are for giving to people, passing along. Lou Archer, Meet Me at the Morgue. Ross McDonald. This was kind of a weird one. Remember Bierce? He was one of those early part of the 20th century writers who, stuff I know of, he gets mentioned with Lovecraft a lot. Never any stuff. This cool version of Maltese Falcon. I recently found a similar copy of The Glass Key. Maybe the score for the day, a Mike Shane. All right. Another movie tie-in, The Laughing Policeman. For all of you that thought that the new wave of Scandinavian murder mysteries was new, this is from the 70s. This is kind of the granddaddy of that series. I have this movie on Blu-ray. It's quite good. If for nothing else, Walter Matthau's a badass, so is Bruce Dern, but you get to see San Francisco circa 73 in beautiful high definition. Okay. You guys all seen the movie for this, right? Oh, you don't think you have? It's called Die Hard 2. This is the book Die Hard 2 is based on. This one just looked cool. I didn't get to read much about it, but threw it in the bag. Cheesy adult reading books from the 50s and 60s. I haven't looked this one up, but who knows? Donald Westlake could have written this, or Lawrence Block, or Ed McBain, or any number of people that went on to fame later as writers of mid-list books or whatever. Elmore Leonard, I don't believe I have this one in my collection. I know I have this, but this was a nice recent copy of A. Tan and Sandy Silence. I don't remember if I got this one yet, but hey, it's a reader's copy. I read something recently about Harold Robbins being a big cheesy pulp writer from the mid part of the century, and I figured I'd throw that in the bag and check it out. All right, one of the things I've been wanting to read lately, well, let's do, okay, that I realize I haven't when it comes to classic crime stuff and mysteries is Rex Stout. So I bought a bunch of Nero Wolfe books. There is an excellent A&E period TV series from, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago that's well worth checking out, with Timothy Hutton as Archie Goodwin. And Maury Chaykin, I believe, played Nero Wolfe, who is one of those character actors that you'll recognize if you see him. So hopefully I can get myself to sit down and read some Nero Wolfe here, as I distribute these real quickly onto the table I've got set up. It's on a hardcover. One of my friends recommended that I check this out. Apparently this is about what it's like to be an African American in America today. Copy of Fletch, the first book. If you haven't read these, the movies were based on this, but kind of counterculture, reporting on crime stuff. Dwayne Zarinsky. This stuff is great. If you haven't read him, check him out. He's one of the more modern writers who was writing in the milieu of those gold medal and classic paperbacks. And then this might also be the score of the day, Stark, a novel by Eddie Bunker. He was Mr. Blue in Reservoir Dogs, I believe. He was an actual criminal who became a writer after he got out of prison. Wrote a number of books, was in some movies. Kind of an interesting guy. There's a Tarantino quote on the back. James Elroy wrote the foreword. Throw it in the bag. Okay. These are some stuff I found at my local Salvation Army. Michael Moorcock. This series of books I've seen posted about these laser books. I figured, for 20 cents I'd grab one. Robert E. Howard. Another Elmore Leonard tie-in. And this looks like some kind of like spy spoof adult thing from the 50s and 60s. 80s techno thriller. 70s adventure nonsense. A nice copy of Sudden Mischief by Robert Parker. Some Max Allan Collins CSI. Max Allan Collins CSI Miami. This looked kind of weird, kind of cool. And then finally, Bill Bronzini and his Nameless Detective. So, hey, got that done in 9 minutes. That was a lot of books. I also got a couple video cassettes and a cassette tape today. I might show those in another kind of video. At any rate, if you guys like this, hit the like button. Leave me comments below. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.